Good afternoon, welcome to our Midday Mull for Saturday the 15th of August. We continue reflecting on the book of Ruth, and yesterday we read how she said to Naomi, "Let me go and glean in the fields," and she just happened to be in Boaz's field, and Boaz had spoken to her and said, stay in our fields and feel free to drink the water that is provided, and we will protect you. And I heard somebody make the analogy and saying gleaning in the fields back then was analogous today to picking up empty cans for recycling, going around the streets with your little bag and chucking the recycling plastic and tins and things into it, and then taking it off and getting a little bit of money. And that was a kind of level that Ruth was operating at in society back then. And for me, just that image was a real eye-opener. And so the fact that Boaz takes notice of her struck me as well. How often do I just walk straight past those people rummaging around and collecting stuff and dragging those massive heavy trolleys of recycling? We just don't even notice them very often. Boaz noticed Ruth and welcomed her and made her feel comfortable. And little wonder when that happens to Ruth, her response to this is, at this she bowed down with her face to the ground. She asked him, "Why have I found such favor in your eyes that you notice me, a foreigner?" She didn't stand on any rights. There were no rights back in those days. She didn't say, well, yes, I'm working hard, you ought to respect me. Or say, well, back home I was in this position and I need a little more respect, etc. She just recognized this man is treating me beyond well in a way that I don't deserve, I have no right to claim, and it's just because he is so good. And her response is wonderfully humble. Why have I found such favor with you? And humility ought to be a mark of all of our lives as Christians. We see this in Jesus, the epitome of humility, who was very God of very God and descended from heaven, born as a baby, dying in shame on a cross out of love for us. The true picture of humility. And if we follow him, then we need to be behaving in a similar way. So we need to be humble. And this response that Ruth gives ought to be our prayer day by day. Why have I found such favor in your eyes that you notice me? And as we come to God, why have we found favor in your eyes? What have we done to deserve it? And we ought to be overwhelmed with amazement at the grace and the love of God. And so today, 3 points. The first is notice the poor. They might be a Ruth. The second is be like Ruth, because Ruth is like Jesus, completely humble. And the third is pray this prayer: Lord, why have I found such favor in your eyes? Why do you even notice me, sinner that I am? I have nothing to claim, nothing to offer, and yet you love us. And that is amazing grace. Be blessed.